guys, welcome back to my channel. I am starting this new series I'm excited about. It is my How I video series, and this is just a fun how-to series, except it's how I do things. So it's not necessarily the right way to do things, but it's how I do it. So today is going to be all about distress oxides. So I've just gathered a few supplies here to go over some of the techniques. And so if you have any of these supplies, gather them up and do this with me. I have baby wipes, cotton balls, I have a stamp, some blending brushes, I've got embossing powder, a water bottle, I have just a piece of packaging down here and my heat tool. And then of course just some white paper that we can get started on. So if you are interested in finding out how I use distress oxides, then keep on watching and let's go. Hey guys, so here I'm just going to be showing you some different techniques that I like to use with my oxides. So first I'm going to do the smushing technique with just a piece of plastic packaging that I had on hand. So I'm going to be using just 3 of my favorite colors that I have. So to start, you're going to just smush the oxide directly down onto a craft mat. I'm using this Tim Holtz Tonic Studios mat. And then you're going to pick it up with that plastic and just smush it around on your page. And then I love to use baby wipes for cleaning up all my surfaces. And so you wipe the oxide off of your mat and then you just lay another color down. And actually this gives you a little bit different look whenever your surface is already a little wet and then you put the oxide down on it. It gives you more of a watercolor look. So that's kind of what I'm showing you here is how different it looks. So I'm spraying my mat with some more water to make it a little more wet, and then picking that color up and smushing it around. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this last color, and you can just see how it gives you a little bit more of a watercolor look with the extra water. So here I'm just going to be using my baby wipe directly on my oxide pad, and then I'm just going to be swiping that on the page. And this just gives some fun texture, and really you can create a background quickly, and it's just super fun and you can get really creative with this. And then here you can see I'm just doing the same thing but with a cotton ball, and it gives you a very similar texture. And if you're interested, the colors that I'm using here are peacock feathers, fossilized amber, and abandoned coral. So here I'm just showing you how you can swipe them directly onto a piece of paper. And then here, I'm just showing you how you can swipe it and then just use a pen to go over it with some hand lettering. You can just really get creative with this and do it however you like. And then here I'm just showing you how you can kind of layer them with that swiping technique. So here are some brushes that I like to use, and my normal blending tool there as well. And these brushes I got off of Amazon, and I just love the way that they really blend out the oxides. And so here I'm just showing you my normal technique for blending my oxides out and how I like to blend 2 colors together. And I just like to go over that line where the 2 colors meet. I like to go back and forth from one color to the next and just really get that line blended out so that it's a seamless transition from one color to the next. And then here I'm just showing you how the oxides react with water. Now I'm just going to show you some stamping and embossing, and I'm going to show you how you can stamp with the oxides and how you can emboss with the oxides. These are some stamps that I've gotten from Bythewell4God, which they are great quality stamps. They're so cute. I love all of their stamps. They have monthly devotional kits, and you can get some of these stamp sets with those. and they're just super fun. So here I'm going to be stamping with this Distress Oxide and just showing you that. And then I'm also going to be showing you how you can emboss with the Oxide, because the Oxides do react with water. If you do stamp with them and then the page gets wet, it will react with the water a little bit. And I do show you that here in just a second. So here I'm just going to spray it with some water, and you can kind of see how it reacts a little bit with the water, and nobody wants that on their page. So this embossing technique is just a good way to make sure that that oxide stays put even if it does get wet. The oxide does give a more distressed look when you stamp with it. It does not give you those nice crisp lines, so keep that in mind. If you're wanting nice crisp lines, it's better to stamp with a ink instead. So here I'm just heating it with my heat tool. This melts the embossing powder and seals in that color and gives you some great texture. You can see the distressed look of the stamp there. Next, I'm going to be using my VersaFine ink. This is a waterproof ink, so once it dries, it is waterproof. So you could go right in and watercolor these flowers once that ink dried. But I'm actually going to be embossing it because I love to emboss, and I just love the texture it gives you. And then when you watercolor, that watercolor really stays put in those lines. And so here I'm just heating it up to get that all melted. And then I'm going to show you how I like to watercolor inside these lines with my Distress Oxides. So I'm just going to smush a little bit of that down and spray some water on my mat. And then I'm just going to watercolor inside these lines. And that is basically it for my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first video in my How I Video series. And I hope you come back for more videos. I don't know how many will be in the series, but there will be more coming. So enjoy, have a blessed day, and happy crafting.